Do crowns make a queen? And do queens need a crown? Those are the two questions. By the way, did you judge me for my hair? My hair is so fluffy and so frizzy. I got back from work today and this is how my hair was. My hair. I thought of making this video and then I decided I'm not going to make it, and then I decided I am going to make it. So as I make this video, I'm also going to get my wave back in order. A lot of you sent me messages on how am I supposed to make my wave after exercise? How am I supposed to make my wave after getting up in the morning? This is how. I'm going to show you how that is done. And while I do that, I'm also going to be chatting with you for a couple of things. Not using a comb, I'm only using my claws to get through my hair. That is how wavy hair should be put in order. So I'm going to tie my front two sections into a cute little bun, and I'm going to get started in recreating this wave over here. And I'm wearing this atrocious top which I paid a whole lot of money for, but it has no lycra, so it keeps rising up and makes my bust look like it's horrible. I recently came to know with all other YouTubers I'm being discussed too, or I'm also one of the YouTubers that they are discussing about now. Among the YouTubers that they've spoken about is of course Samati. So I'm thinking, well, it's not such a bad thing to be discussed among such leaders in our industry. First of all, it's one thing to be behind an anonymous handle and to talk a lot about someone else who day after day have been putting themselves out on the platform and sharing their point of views. There is a big difference. There is no equality, and there is absolutely not a same platform for the two groups to begin with, right? So this video is really about judgment. Speaking about my work and Samapti's, you'll always find credits given not only post the video, all the researchers are linked, but also time and again, we always shine a light on other content creators, and that's the right thing to do. So I'm not going to address this nonsense chatter at all. Within this community, there's been a few concerns. Why is she using her pictures about her bad skin and trying to gain sympathy and trying to gain XYZ? There are third-party pictures. And yes, I am using these pictures to build my platform. I am using these pictures to tell my story. What would you rather I do? And the answer was very clear. I did not want to be that teacher. Students, open your textbook and read with me chapter number 12. Crowns don't make a queen. She knows a queen is her own right. Baatein band. It takes strength, mental strength. Each of you are queens in your own right. Whom are you looking at? Look at your book. I did not want to be that teacher ever. And why would I tell you a story from a book when I have my own story to tell? So yes, I chose to be the interesting person and decided to share my pictures. And if you're thinking it's like very easy or a walk in a park to share your pictures of yourself looking like that, and also pictures that represent possibly the hardest time in your life, I have nothing but sympathy for anybody who feels like that, But मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आता, who appointed these people guardians of the beauty galaxy? Oh, it's call from the galaxy. Hello? Oh, you heard me on the video? Yeah, I was questioning about who appointed these people the guardians of the beauty skincare galaxy. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Well, Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yes, I agree. Well, thank you, Galaxy. Apparently, they self appointed themselves. And that is the problem with self appointment. You see, when we pass judgment on someone else's life, on what someone else is doing, all we are doing is showing how small a person we are. Judgment, whoever is doing it, even if I am doing it, is always coming from a place of feeling less, feeling jealous. You know, थोड़ी सी jealousy. अरे, how is she looking so different today? How is she looking prettier today? If you are used to having one of your friends dressed a certain way and suddenly they dress a little differently, your initial reaction might be of shock and surprise. And that's very natural. So you might say, Arey, how are you dressed up like this? Right? What instinctively doesn't come to us is, हाँ ठीक है, it's her choice, it's her body. Let her dress the way she wants to dress. It might come, but it doesn't come immediately. So you claw through your hair. You never comb them. And so that's the thing with being judgmental about other people, right? And we can be judgmental about so many, many things. Arey, uska ghar ganda tha. Arey, she dresses up so untidily. Well, maybe she's had a hard day. She's not had time to get dressed. Maybe she's having huge problems in her home. She doesn't want to look after her home. Her kids are looking so untidy all the time. Well, maybe she's having a whole lot of issues with mental wellness. Who knows, you know? But we all judge. We just judge. It is so integral in our systems to just judge people. We have to take a step back and think, why are we judging? How does it bother us what other people are doing? Imagine a world where we could just accept people for who they are and move on in life. You know, it is a hard thing to do. In fact, I think it's one of the pursuits that I advise everyone, all my youngsters that I know and my daughters, that the whole journey of becoming a better person is from the inside out. Every time you do something that you know can possibly hurt someone else, take a step back and ask yourself, why am I doing it? What is so wrong with me inside? What am I so unhappy about that I have to make everybody else unhappy around me? Because when we are being judgmental about other people, we are only making them unhappy. We are definitely not making them happy, for sure. But when we put in so much effort to make other people unhappy, we have to question ourselves, what is so wrong with us? What are we so unhappy about that anything that we can give to the world is being unhappy? Why can't we give joy? The reason we find it difficult to give joy is when we don't find joy within ourselves. And that's the truth. Think about it. When you're in your happiest mood and you're living your life, everything is going beautifully for you, right? In that moment, all you think about is joy and gratitude. And one of the journeys of becoming a better person and actually making yourself come to a situation where you are happier and more positive is to write a gratitude journal, is to celebrate the things that we are grateful for, the things we already have. Because when we start recognizing the things that we already have, we start feeling grateful and therefore we start feeling joyful. It is so important to celebrate the fact that मेरे हाथ काम कर रहे हैं, मेरा कान काम कर रहा है, my eyes are working, you know, my husband is fairly in love with me. You know, I'm able to sit and see this YouTube video, take out 20 minutes of my life and see this YouTube video about how to keep my hair beautiful when the world is crumbling on the other end. You have the luxury to spend the 20 minutes. Shouldn't you be grateful for the day today? There are people who don't have that luxury. I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here and talking about how to get your wavy hair in place when there are 10,000 things I could do to help humanity. But that's the privilege I have today, that I'm able to do this, right? So gratitude is a very important thing. Every time we feel judgmental, we have to question ourselves. Why am I feeling like this, that I'm saying something so mean to someone else? Because, honey, neither you nor me are monitors of the world or are monitors of anybody else or are monitors of groups and forums and, God forbid, YouTube platform. We are not. Okay? That's YouTube's responsibility, not ours. If you are being judgmental, you are hurting. Take the time to find out, why are you hurting so much inside? The person who receives the judgment also feels the hurt. It's a very natural, very normal reaction because we are social animals. We want to be the people who are loved and liked and accepted because that is what the social norms is coded into our DNA because we live in groups and societies, right? The first time you hear judgment against you, it does hurt you. But getting better at receiving judgment is quite like learning how to make the perfect bhindi ki sabzi. And I'll tell you how. The first few times when you learn how to make the भिंडी की सब्जी, it is such a bloody difficult सब्जी to make, right? वो हर टाइम उसमें पानी आ जाता है, थोड़ी सी ऊपर पक जाती है, पूरा दाना निकल जाता है, या उसके अंदर that लिची thing comes, right? It's either undercooked or it's overcooked. कभी आप नमक जल्दी डाल देते हो, कभी आप गैस जल्दी धीरे कर देते हो, कभी आप गैस देर में करते हो तो जल जाती है, कभी ढक्कन जल्दी जल जाता है. It's a process to learn how to make the perfect भिंडी की सब्जी. If you haven't started making भिंडी की सब्जी, try it. You'll know exactly what I am saying. But when you make the भिंडी की सब्जी for the 25th time, or when you make it for the 50th time, or when you make it for the 100th time, you know exactly when to turn the gas down, to increase the heat, and to put a lid on it and shut it out. That's the thing with judgment. You come to a point where you say, oh, you said that about me. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So how's my hair looking? Aren't they looking beautiful? And the person who's passing the judgment is like, तूने सुना मैं अंदर को क्या बोला है? And you go, so did you see how my hair is looking? Aren't they looking gorgeous? Isn't the wave controlled? And you continue being yourself. Because no one, honey, no one is worth changing what to do in your life just because they said something mean or they said something bad to you. Just like this freaking top, it is so ugly and it is so bad for me, but I still wear it because, man, I spent a lot of money on this. It's the same with the life. You have to hear judgment. We have to get better at handling it and to move on. Whoever's passed judgment on us, we need to just send them love and sympathy because, boy, they are hurting and they are transferring that hurt to you. But since you are the wiser one now, you turn around and you say, thank you. I'm going to consider your judgment. I'm going to see what I can learn from it. Can I benefit from it? Can I become a better person out of it? And then I'm going to put a lid because my bhindi ki sabji is perfected. It's mastered. I've mastered the art of receiving judgment. And that's what queens do. Because crowns don't make queens. With or without this, I'm still a queen. Judgments don't make us good, bad, or ugly. Because judgments don't define us. We define ourselves. Always. And the people who love and care for us, they define us. Because they love us enough to never be judgmental about us. I wish you the joy and the peace of learning to turn off the heat on any judgment that comes your way. Because hey honey, queens are queens. Judged or not judged.